You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, a whole assortment of nightmares featuring banks, hookers, and something truly reprehensible that I would absolutely never in real life do to Marci's cat.
The sun is shining out here, and I hate it so bad.
What?
So I have to say.
You complained about, you're just a big whiner. You complained about, what the hell?
We have feet of snow. Hey, this is mountain life. We have feet of snow, and all of a sudden it's in the 50s. So where does that feet of snow go?
Down the mountain?
No, we're kind of now much of my dog eat goat poop, which is lovely too. But anyway.
Wait. The new dog eats goat
No,
poop?
Scarlett Johansson.
Great.
But there's no way to teach them not to, so.
No, I learned about this. Our second German Shepherd had this disgusting habit. And you know what all the training sites say? You're going to flip your cookies. Ready?
Yeah.
It is a self-rewarding behavior.
I believe it. Back to the weather.
Yes.
So we've had all this snow for the last 2 weeks, like nonstop. And now it's 50 degrees and it's supposed to be for like the next 5 days. So what that means for us is 4 feet of snow is going to turn into 4 feet of mud.
Well, here's what I have to say about you mountain people.
We're hardy.
No, that wasn't what I was going to say about you mountain people.
I didn't think so. So
Nothing happens where you are. Nothing happens at all. And therefore, you obsess about the weather. You obsess about the weather. And people who actually have real weather to contend with, we live in cities. We don't obsess about the weather because we have other things to do. We have
to get out of here.
Do.
No, I have
you
places
don't.
to go and things to do.
No, you don't.
I do kind of. Not really.
No, you really don't, do you?
Look, grocery store. I don't know. I got all my food finally delivered today from the 2 pet places. So my animals have food. That's all I care about.
There you go. You can eat some goat poop if you feel hungry.
Here's something like really bizarre that happened to me today, okay?
Okay, what happened?
This shows you I have things to worry about. So remember a long time ago when I was like really stupid and I gave some guy named Steve in Pakistan or wherever access to my computer?
Oh, no, you didn't give
a couple years ago. No, I
didn't.
But I got a thing from my bank
that
that says you made a debit card transaction of $3,559 with PayPal. And I went, oh my God, somebody's trying to like suck away all our money. Like we had that much, which we didn't. But then I got another one and I had sent Eve out to get propane and gas for her truck and propane for her house.
Okay.
Then about 50, I'm frantically looking through all the bank records and stuff and everything looks okay. 15 minutes later, I get, you made a debit card transaction of $4,111 with Circle K.
How much is
Like,
propane?
what?
How much?
And I know. And then I get a third one that says you made a debit card transaction of $3,446 with Loves. You put all those together, and I don't have that much money in a month, let alone all in one transaction. So I think my bank is having some issues.
I would
scared the crap out of me.
call that bank.
I went to my bank website.
Yeah.
And for example, the $3,446 transaction.
$34.46, is it?
You got it.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what came out of the account. Believe me, I made sure after Steve from Pakistan. But yes, at first
See, this would make me wonder if they had access also to, if these potential hackers also had access to my medical records, because then they would know that reading this would give me a heart attack immediately.
And then they wouldn't get any more. No more money for you. Well, what are the guys that hack money into my account? I want to know where those guys are.
You would have to be a Nigerian prince for that to happen.
Or princess.
No, I've never seen one from a Nigerian
I
princess.
haven't either. It's
It's a
because
very
princesses
sexist
make their own
culture.
way.
Very
You know?
sexist culture. The Nigerian royal family there. It's never a Nigerian. And it's interesting. Whenever you read about these internet scams, it's usually women who are victimized, and I'm not quite sure why that would be, since men are usually expected to be the rescuers. You would,
I know someone that fell for that who happens to be male.
oh, good.
And I
I
am
mean, I'm
not going to
sorry for
tell you
him,
who he is.
but
Yes, but he fell for the whole Nigerian prince thing many, many years ago.
no, you married a guy who falls for
I didn't
Nigerian.
say I married him.
You don't
I
have
said
to.
nothing about marrying
The
anybody.
only person whose reputation you safeguard in this whole world is the man you're married to. I should say the boy you're married to.
Yeah. He
So
was a much younger boy at the time,
did
and he didn't lose any money. He realized it was a scam.
really?
Yeah.
Was she some
But
beautiful woman from Russia by any chance who needed help
no, I think
escaping?
it was a freaking Nigerian prince or something.
No,
I don't
really?
know.
God,
Yeah, he's gonna kill me.
I love my spouse, but I think one of the reasons that he picked me was that he'd had a fairly long string of prior relationships with women who didn't conduct themselves, in my opinion, according to the highest ethical standards.
Okay.
And
They were no ladies.
let's put it this way: his bank account was lower than it might have been if he had not been kind and generous and helpful to all these nice women.
Yeah.
And they weren't online; they were real people.
Yes.
So I instantly just kind of went through the virtual address book and removed and expunged all of them. But if I'd found out that he'd been willing to send money to a Nigerian prince, I don't know if we would have had a second date.
It wasn't exactly the Nigerian prince scheme, but it was something like
No,
close
it's
to it.
Svetlana.
It was one of those, here's a check deposited in your account for us kind of thing.
Yeah,
But it didn't get that far.
the spousal unit was more like, I have an emergency, lend me all the money in your savings account, I'll pay you back, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm the one that gives out all our personal information
To Steve
to Steve.
in Pakistan. I get about 3 requests a week from people to connect with me on social media. These requests I instantly get rid of because they're always selfies showing either a beautiful woman in lingerie or a beautiful woman's cleavage, sometimes with or without the beautiful woman attached to it. I mean, it takes 2 seconds to ditch the beautiful woman in your photo because you know what it is, right? But you
Yeah.
can see like how many friends you have in common. And either half the guys running radio stations are just utterly clueless, or perhaps they don't look at, Kyra in Lithuania's actual, maybe they just say yes to everyone, which goes back to being all the people running the business are totally clueless or so egomaniacal that they think Kyra the Cleavage in Lithuania really wants to be their new Facebook friend.
Maybe they just want to send Kyra the Cleavage a dick pic.
I don't think
Have you
that's
thought about that?
I have actually. I gave that some thought, and I wondered.
Most of the guys I know from when I was in radio, that's what they would be doing, which shows you what kind of stations I worked for.
I've worked for some really sadistic people, but
I know.
and I certainly don't know everything about all of them. And judging from the people they accept friend requests from, I really don't think I want to. But I'm more inclined to think that they just assume that Kyra the Cleavage in Lithuania wants to be their friend. I'll never know for sure.
I just know that what's her name? The Cleavage?
Kyra the Cleavage, yes.
Kyra the Cleavage is friending them with one hand and sending me urgent dementia messages with her other hand.
Are you still getting urgent dementia messages?
Almost all of my spam have to do with dementia and wieners these days. That must mean I'm getting old.
Well, you did read that obituary with the guy who liked giant skinless hot dogs.
That does. I know.
You don't forget an obituary like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone whose main memorable attribute is his preference for giant skinless wieners.
I have that in a box somewhere. I saved that
I
weird
just
stuff.
choked on my tea. You have a giant skinless wiener in a box somewhere. You got to be careful where you put your subjects and your.
My
you
last
have what?
husband. Oh man.
Sorry.
I have the obit in a box. I
Oh,
think out in the goat shed.
oh. Thought you had a giant skinless
I'm like,
wiener.
"Shh, you'll get the police over here looking for the missing one.
I know this is what I get from watching Dahmer because it was nominated for an award. I can't.
I couldn't watch that. I could not watch it.
No, you shouldn't.
I
Watch.
get to a point where I already know so much about a case
Yeah, we lived
that
through.
I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, we lived through a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the same with Gacy. I mean, they eventually make movies or documentaries about all these people. And it's kind of like, oh, I was there. I don't need to know
No, there's.
anymore.
Speaking of not needing to know, and we don't talk politics on this show, but there's a really, really graphic video in the news right now, and I feel guilty, but I'm not watching it. I'm not going to watch it. Usually I try out of a sense of obligation to watch these videos, but I don't think I can watch this one, and I don't know if I should apologize for that or not. I don't know.
No,
Good. Thank
don't
you.
apologize for anything. I think it's, you know what? I don't think that anyone needs to watch it. I consider it voyeurism.
Yeah, the jury
I
needs to
think-
watch it.
Well, right, but we're not the jury.
Right. Thank
Just
you.
a description is good enough.
Yeah, I got the image. I don't need the actual
Yeah.
imprint on my. Oh, speaking of
I'm
the
with you.
imprint on my brain, I had a terrible, terrible nightmare about one of your cats. That isn't really your cat. It's just a generic cat. It
Uh-huh.
was so bad it woke me up.
What did it do?
Okay, in this nightmare, I go into the bathroom and there, swimming in the toilet, is one of your cats. And it looks up at me. I'm telling you it's a nightmare, though, so you better stop laughing. And I bend down. I'm like, oh, ha, 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 you cute little. And the cat all of a sudden gets flushed away. And I run screaming from the bathroom. And I find you and I find Frankie. And I'm trying to explain what happened and that Frankie needs to go right out and open up the cover on the septic tank. And I'm freaking out. And then I wake up.
The cat didn't turn into a giant catzilla down in the sewer
No,
system
I woke
to
up.
haunt the city of
I
Chicago. or
woke up
anything?
thinking I should have been faster and not thought it was a cute little stunt. And I guess that the message I'm supposed to take from that is that things that are cute little stunt appearances on the surface are horrible disasters waiting to happen if you don't move fast.
Now I know what I'm going to send you for your birthday.
A toilet? Another one of your toilet planners? I don't want another
Actually,
toilet.
no. I
A
found
cat?
online
No, don't send me a cat.
toilet seat.
No.
It's a toilet seat. And it looks like there's a cat drowning in your toilet.
Oh God, that's
It's
not
awesome.
funny.
It's going to
Nope.
come in the mail to you.
Don't do that because it will go right to the Salvation
It's
Army.
a cat drowning in the toilet.
Straight to the Salvation Army. I won't even open it. If it's shaped like a big flat thing, it's going straight to the. I mean, it was so vivid. It had little white and gray face. And it's paddling
Aw.
away, and I come in there going, "Oh, you cute little that ha ha!" And I go to pick it, and just
You're
as I reach
evil.
in to help it, whoosh,
She flushed the cat.
I didn't flush it. I did not even in my dream. No.
It's going in your obit.
She flushed a helpless cat down the toilet.
Sounds like a kitten to me.
And then
Not even a cat.
then-
a little tiny kitten.
oh God, I killed a kitten in my sleep. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
and you may have to ask Frankie to report back on this.
If there's a cat in the septic system.
No, if a cat got flushed down the toilet, could it live long enough to be rescued from your septic tank?
I doubt it.
Oh boy. Assuming you've come this far because you enjoy the podcast, may we recommend my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. It's available at your neighborhood bookstore or on Amazon. And if you're feeling especially generous, please leave the podcast a good review. Thanks.